Hi everyone, welcome to my house. A little different than Yola. I believe that Lori and I are drinking the same wine. I haven't started yet though, but I do have it ready to go. And Krista, that was definitely your arm, this side of the screen. I am very much missing being with you guys in person tonight. I got kind of emotional just as I was like sitting here ready to go live. But I'm really glad to be online with you guys all, and I hope that you enjoy your practice tonight. And I'm so grateful for this community, and I look forward to when we're all back together again, practicing in person. So we're just going to give it another minute or two. You know, this is always yoga and wine time, so we'll let people kind of roll in here. But if you're already signed in, if you have any thoughts on volume, just go ahead and take a moment. I know that it's very penny and tinny. It's just the nature of a computer microphone. But if you're having any troubles technologically with technology tonight, please just comment in the comment section of YouTube. And Jamie is also texting me and letting me know if there's anything that is going wrong. So if you see me looking at my phone, that's why. Thank you, Jamie, for helping out. Begin to join us. So I'm going to recommend as we start to find that breath tonight that you go one hand on heart. I like my left hand, so I'm not going to mirror you here in this moment. And then right hand on the ground beside you. And maybe just close your eyes. If closing your eyes tonight does not feel like what you need, then keep your eyes open, but let the eyeballs drop toward the floor. And just start to take some really full breaths in and out. Maybe bringing to mind, if you've been practicing with us this month, bringing to mind that counted breath that we set as our focus for the month of March. Starting to count at 1 as you breathe in. Maybe you count to 4, maybe you have a different number, but just counting until you're full. And then counting until you're empty as you exhale again, starting at 1. And try to match that count. So if it's 4, you go 4 in and 4 out. Or whatever your number is. And I've chosen this breath and this position of our hands tonight to give us something to anchor to. There's a lot of unknowns and a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. And honestly, this is why we practice yoga. And sometimes it's in a world that's really certain and a life that's really certain, but we're always preparing and giving ourselves tools for finding certainty when things feel shaky or uncertain. And I know this morning I was trying to read a book and I couldn't get through even a paragraph. My mind kept flitting off to other things. And I brought it back to the breath. I just put the book down. And I think our days kind of feel like that right now. So in this moment, trying to anchor the mind into your breath, this count of your breath in, this count of your breath out. Anchoring your mind into the heartbeat that is beneath your left hand. And the ground that is beneath your right hand. And every time the mind flits off to something else, bring it back. Ground, heart, breath. Ground beneath you. Beating heart within you. Breath moving in and out of you. Let's bring that right hand on top of your heart as well, and just take the fullest, deepest round of breath that perhaps you've taken today. And then as you inhale this next time, we're gonna blink your eyes open, take your arms wide, let your heart lift. And then exhale, we're gonna round your arms around your chest. You could call it giving yourself a hug. Round your spine back a bit, let the head fall forward. And let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, heart forward, arms wide. And exhale, bring it in. One more time, big reach. And bring it in. We're gonna reach wide one more time. And as you reach wide, let's take your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Let those palms join together overhead, and we'll lower the hands down into the heart as you start to tip back onto your sit bones. And here's the nice thing about home practice. Nobody knows if you're doing boat pose but you. So maybe you tip back onto your sit bones, let those feet lift, heart lifting towards your thumbs. And then see if you can remember which leg was in front. We're just going to simply recross with the other leg in front and come back to seated. Inhale, big reach out. And exhale, round and hug it in. 2 more there. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to open one more time and pause. And just go ahead and bend your elbows there into a little goalpost shape. We're going to bring the arms towards each other. Drop the right arm below the left. I'm going to mirror you now. And just latch those elbows. And for some of you, you're just going to give yourself a big old hug. We need a lot of these right now. Or maybe press the back of the hands or the palms together. And let's lift your elbows any amount up toward the ceiling as your shoulders soften down. And I'll turn a little sideways so you can see. You guys will be happy to know that for some reason I felt it really important to brush my teeth before I taught this class because I was going to be so close to you all. Just in case you're wondering. Deep breath. And we're just going to reach wide. Let those arms open into that huge eagle wingspan again. Bend your elbows, and we'll bring it forward. And this time we'll go left arm on bottom for the hug or the eagle wrap, your choice. And let those elbows lift up as the tops of the shoulders drop down. And we're specifically trying to find that nice softening at the base of the neck. Every time your mind wanders off, you've got a couple anchors you can bring it back to. The ground beneath you, in whatever shape we're in. The count of your breath, maybe revisiting that from time to time. And the pulse within you. Let's go ahead and unwrap your arms. Let's reach wide one more time. And just take your hands all the way up. Feel your hips get heavy as those hands reach up, 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 up. And we'll bring the hands down into the heart. We're going to make our way up and over into table. For those of you that are new to yoga and adult beverage, everything we do is optional. So definitely modify and take care of yourself tonight. Take breaks when you need to. This is about you. All right. As you find table, knees under hips and wrists under shoulders, we're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the head. And exhale, round the spine into cat. We're going to move there a couple times. Belly down, it's an exaggeration of your inhale. And the exaggeration of your exhale as you hollow the belly and round into cat. How about we go 3 more rounds here tonight? Really focusing on what is touching the ground here. That rooting of shins and hands. We're going to take 1 more round into cow. But this time as you round into cat, we're going to pick your left hand up, put it on top of your right hand, and pull your hips back towards child's pose. Just one big inhale here. And one complete exhale. And we'll inhale, come back up into that cow shape. Replace the left hand under the left shoulder. Exhale, round, right hand on top of left, and pull back. Full inhale. Complete exhale. And bring it up. Table into that cow shape. Last cat, just a regular old cat. Inhale, cow. Make sure your hands are ready for down dog. So knuckles are grounded, index fingers lined up, maybe turned out a bit. And let's tuck your toes under, take those hips up and back, downward facing dog. As you find your down dog tonight, just start to wiggle the hips, the tail around. You can wag a bit. You can pedal the legs a bit. And at any time tonight that we're in down dog, if you're like, this just doesn't feel good, table, we've been here already. This is a replacement, and child's pose is also a potential replacement. Both are great options to go to from time to time. As you settle into your down dog, let's inhale, rise up onto the tippy toes, let the heels lift, and then exhale, let the heels drop to the ground. They might touch, they might not. Let's do that 2 more times. Rise up and lower. 1 more time, rise up and lower. And let's keep that left heel rooting toward the floor. Right leg's going to lift up any amount toward the sky. And then just let go of all need to be graceful. And we're going to step the right foot between your hands any way that works for you. Back knee will come on down to the ground. You might have carpet at home, but it's definitely whatever you've got softer than a cement winery or brewery floor. But if you still need to pad a bit, pad. And we're going to bring your right hand onto that right thigh. Push down into your right thigh. Come on up and just bring your left hand onto your heart. Couple breaths here. I want your eyes just to head forward and get really steady. Returning to those anchors, ground, breath, the vibration of life, the pulse of life within you. And then let's tip this forward just a bit. We're going to start to turn towards your right thigh. Let that left elbow either come to the top of the left thigh or outside, top of the right thigh or outside the right thigh. And let's put your hands into prayer, palms together. Couple breaths here. You might look over your right shoulder, you might not. If you're just hungry for more, maybe that back knee comes up off the ground, but it definitely could stay grounded. And then nice and slow, let's bring the hands down around your front foot. Lift your back knee, and let's take it back into downward facing dog. Again, no need to be graceful. It's not ballet. It's yoga. You're welcome to stay here, any of those down dog replacements, or inhale, come forward to plank. Let's drop the knees to the ground. Elbows point straight back as you lower to the belly. And we'll come all the way down, untucking your toes, point them straight back. And let's inhale, just very little weight in the hands. We'll lift the heart, the head, the shoulders off the ground. And then exhale, lower. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. You might start to put some weight into the hands. And exhale, bring it down. The important part here, no matter how high you go, is that those shoulders are broadening back. The front of the collarbones is really broad. And bring it down. We'll press into hands and knees. Come on up, table. And downward facing dog. Find your breath. Let's take your left leg, lift it up and back. And however it works, but between the hands. Good, back knee comes down. Left hand on left thigh. Right hand comes up to your heart as you lift. And let the eyes head forward and get steady. One additional potential anchor, the focus, the gaze of your eyes. We'll start to tip and lean forward. Right elbow is going to drop to the left thigh, either the top or the outside. We'll bring your hands into prayer. Push the hands into each other. Find that rotation. You might look over your left shoulder. You might not. Those of you that lifted the back knee on the first side, you might lift it. One final breath here. And then untwist, hands go down. Lift that back knee, downward facing dog. You're again invited to stay here, always invited to stay. If you want more, inhale, plank. Knees up or down, your choice. But either way, elbows are pointing straight back as you lower to the belly. And we'll take just one round of that back bend this time. So untuck your toes. Inhale, rise as high as you feel is a nice expression in your body tonight. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, table or plank. And downward facing dog. As you find your downward facing dog, we're going to rise up onto your tippy toes and just walk your way to the hands. Bend your knees when you need to. Let the feet end up as wide as your hips, maybe a little wider. We're going to let your elbows or hands find opposite elbows or forearms. Gentle to large bend in the knees. And let everything drape over the legs. The head is heavy, the arms are heavy. Feel that deep release of the spine. And then we'll bend the knees a little more, roll up inch by inch. Bringing yourself all the way up to standing, reaching toward the ceiling. Palms join together overhead, and we'll bring your hands down into your heart. And let's go palm over heartbeat. Close the eyes or drop the gaze, and breathe. Feel yourself rooting down into your feet and the connection of your feet to the floor. The steadiness of breath and pulse within you. We're going to bring it back to this over and over again. Inhale, let's take hands up. Exhale, hands will come down through center as you bend the knees in a mountain fold. Fingers find the shins. Inhale, lift up halfway, long, long spine. And then we'll fold as you exhale. Let the hands find the ground, and we're going to step your left leg back. So you now have learned the one with the knee down. You're welcome to stay with that. Knee can also stay up. We're going to bring either way your right hand to the top of the right thigh, close to your hip. Push down as you take that left hand forward and up. And then with your whole next exhale, keep pushing into your right hand as you take your left hand forward and down. Let the left hand find the floor, and let's take your right hand to the sky. Next exhale, right hand comes down. And we'll step to plank, potentially down dog if that's a happier place for you. So following the breath, knees up or down will lower, chaturanga. Inhale as high into your back bend, cobra or upward facing dog if you feel ready. And downward facing dog. From your down dog, we'll take left leg, lift it up and back. And bring that foot forward between the hands. Back knee up or down, your choice. Left hand to the top of the left thigh. We'll push down, float your right fingers, and reach forward and all the way up. With your next exhale, we'll keep pushing into your left thigh. Take that right hand forward and down. Plant the hand, left hand to the sky. Next exhale, left hand comes down. We'll step forward, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. And even when we're at home, chair pose. You have choices between a standing desk, a squatty potty, anywhere in between. This is for you, Jamie. Press down into those feet, rise up, legs straighten. Hands come right back onto the chest, palm over heartbeat. Close your eyes or drop the gaze and bring it back home. Inhale, hands go up, eyes open. Exhale, fold. Fingers slide up the shins, halfway lift. And then as you fold this time, we'll step the right leg back. Back knee up or down, we'll rise. Both hands go up to the sky. Once you've risen, we'll find the feet. And then inhale, let's straighten your front leg. And then exhale, bend the front knee, lean forward. Hands come to heart and we'll tap right elbow toward right thigh. It might touch, it might not. And then inhale, untwist, come back up, reach up. One more time, twisting. Inhale, lifting. And we'll bend the front knee, let your hands come down around the foot. Plank or downward facing dog, your choice. If you've chosen plank, you can stay for a couple more breaths if you want, or chaturanga, knees up or down. Cobra, upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Right foot to the sky, inhale. Foot between the hands, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Take a moment, a breath to find your feet. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend. We'll add the twist in now. Inhale, let's straighten. And then as we bend, we'll lean, left elbow taps right thigh. Inhale, come on up, straightening the leg. Two more, bring it in. Reach up. Last one. We'll come on up again, straighten that leg. And we'll bend the front knee, let the hands come down. And we'll step the left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers slide up the shins. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. And come up, chair. Straightening the legs, rise up. Hands come down to heart, palm over heartbeat once again. Avoid the fidgets and the fixes. You're practicing at home, no one cares where your pants are. Just be with your breath. Eyes open, find your gaze point. We're coming into your right foot. Left knee is coming up any amount. Hands can stay on heart if you'd like, or they can reach up toward the sky. And then slow and steady, we're gonna take that left leg, move it back behind you, stepping into your lunge once again. We'll start the same way. So we'll inhale, straighten the front leg, and then exhale, bend the front knee and twist. But then as you come up, we're gonna modify. So we'll take the hands to the sky, drop the back heel, open, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach up. Exhale, bend the front knee, lower the arms. Two more there. Inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, bend and lower. One more. We'll bend that front knee. Keep it bent this time. Let's reverse. Inhale, left hand down the back leg, right hand reaches up. And then exhale, hands come down around your front foot, back heel lifts. Pause. You can stay here if you'd like. Left hand is going to stay on the ground. Option 2 is right hand to the sky. Those of you that still want more, option 3 is to come onto the pinky edge of that back foot and to wiggle. And I'm going to actually turn so you can see. Wiggle that right leg back, maybe halfway down the mat, maybe all the way to side plank. If you're like, no, definitely not, just stay in that crescent lunge. Wherever you're at, 2 more breaths. And any way you'd like, we're going to make our way back into downward facing dog. You might stay here for a few breaths. You might roll through that vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, back bend. You might drop into some child's pose. Just stay with your breath. From wherever you're at, we're going to come to the top of the mat. So you might step, walk, or hop your way there. Bend your knees, chair pose. Hands to heart, legs straighten. Weight into your left foot, right knee comes up. Hands can stay on your chest. They can reach skyward. They can go anywhere that feels like a good expression for you tonight. Sometimes you fall out. And then maybe that right leg, actually, yes, that right leg starts to head back into your lunge. And once we find our footing, let's inhale, straighten the front leg, reach your hands skyward, and exhale, bend the front knee, right elbow taps left thigh. Inhale, come on up. And we'll drop the back heel open, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the leg, reach up. Bend the knee, lower the arms. 2 more. Straighten, reach. Bend, lower. Steady rhythm, lift, and lower. Let that front knee stay bent, we'll reverse. Right hand down the back leg, left hand reaches up and back. And then exhale, hands go down around the front foot. Back heel lifts, and we pause. You might stay here. There's no best option except for the one that's right for you. They all have value. You might plant that right hand, left hand to the sky. And then you have that option to come onto the pinky edge of the right foot to wiggle that left foot around anywhere towards side plank. And when you're ready, however it makes sense for you, downward facing dog. Again, you have that invitation to roll through vinyasa. You have the invitation to find stillness. But wherever you're at, invite your mind to stay with you. When you're ready, we'll make our way to the front of the mat. Any way that makes sense for you. Once you're there, let's bend your knees a lot. Round your spine. And roll up inch by inch by inch. Until once again, you're upright. And let the hands come right over the heartbeat once again. Start to blink those eyes open. We're going to shift into the right foot, and I'm mirroring you again. We're going to bend your left knee and start to bring it any amount up toward the chest. So we're heading into tree pose. I'm going to give the option here of kickstand, foot on calf, or foot on thigh. So any of those are good. What I want you to add in tonight, wherever you're at there, is one hand on heart, so right hand on heart in this one, left hand touching your leg, maybe on the thigh. For those of you that have the foot on the top of the thigh, you might reach down and grab onto your ankle. That for me feels particularly supportive, but thigh is nice too wherever you're at. And then let the eyes get steady once again. And settle right into that breath. And just let those hands be closer to home tonight. Sometimes I find when we do expressive things with the arms and the hands, it's kind of like a little squirrel moment where our mind heads out into the extremities. And tonight I just want you to keep it right here. And we'll turn the knee forward wherever it's at. Let that foot come to the ground. And we're going to drop your hands right beside you, palms forward, thumbs out. Maybe dropping the gaze or closing the eyes. Again, try not to fidget and fix, just be. And we'll blink those eyes open, shift into your left foot, right knee comes up, and you have all of those options of height. What's the right one for you? We'll take the knee toward the side, kickstand, calf. We try to skip the knee, and then maybe thigh. And then let's bring left hand to heart on this side, and let's have right hand touching your leg in some way, whether it's ankle or the top of the thigh or the knee. The nice thing about our one-legged balance poses is they really force us to focus. Final breath here. And we'll turn that knee forward, foot to the floor, both hands to the sky. Exhale, let's fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway, lift, fingers slide up the shins. Exhale, fold. We'll plant the hands and make our way back into downward facing dog. Maybe with that vinyasa, maybe not. When you're in down dog and you're ready, right leg to the sky. However it feels nice, foot between the hands. We're going to bring that right hand onto the top of your right thigh. Once again, push down, reach that left hand forward and up. There'll be some repeat in this round and then we'll add on. Keep pushing into that right thigh. Left hand goes forward, but this time, instead of going down, it's going back. And then your right hand is going to join. So you've got kind of like a superhero cape in your arms. Inhale, come back up, shoulders over hips, hands to the sky. Let your legs straighten at the very end of the inhale there, and then exhale, bend the knee, left elbow taps right thigh. Inhale, let's bring it up and open, warrior two. Once you've settled in, inhale, straighten the front leg, reach up. Exhale, bend the front knee, lower the arms. And then just let your hands come to your heart, palm to palm this time. And we're going to start to lengthen over the front thigh. So instead of letting your belly turn toward the ground, try to keep your belly facing the side of your mat. And then let's lower your right elbow to your right thigh. And take your left hand and reach it toward the front of your mat. If that doesn't feel good, you can take it straight up toward the ceiling, or you can bring it onto your hip. Option to stay here. Option to lower your right hand any amount down toward the ground. And again, try not to let everything turn toward the floor, but keep it open. Those of you that want a little bit more, right leg straightens. The work of the torso is the same in all of those shapes. That rolling of the left rib cage back, the right rib cage forward and under. We'll bend the front knee. Let's bring it back up, warrior two. Hands to heart. We're going to turn all 10 toes toward the long edge of the mat. Toes out, heels in for goddess pose or horse. This is another ode to Jamie. And hands can stay at heart or they can come up toward the sky. Option to lift up onto the right toes, lift the right heel. And then lower that heel, lift the left. We'll just do that a couple times side to side. Try not to bob up and down too much. Just sort of shift. And let's do one more lift on each side. Both heels down. Slower than you want to, let the legs straighten. And then turn your back toes in, turn that right foot forward, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, hands come down around your front foot. And we'll step to plank. Couple breaths here. If you do not enjoy plank, down dog's a great option, child's pose is a great option. Just gonna breathe here. Breathing through challenging things like plank pose. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, inhale. Foot between the hands, exhale. We'll bring your left hand onto your left thigh. High up on the thigh, push down. Right hand gets light, reaches forward and up. And then keep pushing down to that left hand. Right hand reaches forward, down, and back. And then left hand joins in that superhero cape. Dun, 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 dun. It's a good thing I have a lot of practice laughing at my own jokes. Come on up, hands to the sky. At the end of your inhale, let that front leg straighten. And then bend your front knee, hands to heart, and tap. Inhale, come on up. Open, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reach up. Bend the front knee, lower the arms. And let's bring your hands together, palm to palm in prayer in front of the heart. Try to keep the torso facing the long edge of your mat. Waist evenly long up both sides. We're gonna hinge forward, tipping over that front thigh. Just turn so you can see me. And then let's lower left hand or left elbow to left thigh. Right hand either forward, up, or on the hip. Those of you that want more, before you just jump into more, check in with what's happening here. Make sure there's a lot of space. You're remaining really open and open to breath, able to breathe really easily into yourself. And then if that's in check and you feel like you have space to go deeper, left hand can come to the ground. You can stay here if you'd like. Or if you're still looking for more, go ahead and straighten that front leg. We'll bend the front knee, come up, warrior two. Hands on hips. Turn the feet again, but this time feet to parallel. The nice thing about practicing at home is there's a few less butts to worry about as we start to fold forward. So strong, straight legs. Start to tip at your hips and let the torso fold toward the floor. When it makes sense, let the hands come to the ground. They could stay on the hips the entire time. They could be on the outer legs or ankles if that feels nice. Just some options there. Wherever you're at, allow the bowling ball of your head to get really heavy, neck to feel long and easy. And then let's slowly push the ground away. When you're about halfway away from the ground, strong legs, maybe a soft bend in the knees, sneak your hands onto your hips, and then come all the way up. And turn your right foot toward the front of the mat. I guess your left foot, I turned around. Your left foot towards the front of your mat, then your right foot. And let's return. Hands over chest, palm over heartbeat. And let's bring it home. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, let's fold forward. Let your hands find the ground. So bend the knees enough that your hands can get flat. And we're going to come down, however it works for you, onto one shin and then the other. We're going to come up with your hips right over your knees. I challenge you, if you're like, ooh, the work's done, I'm headed off to wine time, to just stay for the last 15 minutes of class. You've got this. It also tells me who logs out. I'm just kidding. I have a list. Let's bring your hands onto your chest. Lift the heart up into the hands. And here's what I want you to find in your breath here. Those of you that know we're heading into camel, I want you just to throw away what you know about camel. It's not the point of right now. What I want you to find instead is your counted breath again. And as you breathe in, you're going to lift your heart into your hands and find breath and space across your chest for the entire length of your inhale. As you exhale, I want you to ever so softly drop those low ribs in toward the belly, creating length up the back side of the body and creating support. And that's going to be our pattern there. Inhale, find lift, find space, find expression. And exhale, support it. 2 more breaths here. Let your tailbone be heavy, not tucked, just heavy. At the very end of your next exhale, like a big crunch, stack everything again, coming up. And then slowly, if it's okay on your knees, just sit back on the heels for a couple breaths. And let your hands come on down to your thighs. Close the eyes or drop the gaze. If this isn't good on your knees, just stay lifted for a couple more breaths. And slowly come on down to seated. And we'll slide the legs around in front of you. And as you slide those legs around in front of you, we're going to bring soles of the feet together, knees open. And let's hold on to the ankles or the shins, or some of you the feet, whatever feels nice, and just sit really tall. So we're not going to fold forward yet. The alternative would be, if it feels better, to have hands on the ground kind of behind you, to move your hands there instead. An invitation once again to close the eyes or drop the gaze, to feel your hips rooting. That kind of beautiful bowl of your pelvis and your abdomen with lots of space for breath and ease. Feeling almost like a couple buoys floating in water, your collarbones. And as that air travels deeply down into yourself, the very end of the inhale, feel this buoyancy of the chest. And try to maintain that buoyancy and that lift as you exhale, just supporting that lift in that space. Let's slide your hands outside the knees. Help bring those legs back together. And we're going to take your right leg out to straight. Left leg's going to cross all the way over the right leg until the pinky edge of the foot is on the floor. Now, if this doesn't work in your body, if you have something you could kind of wedge under that foot or under the knee, great. You could also just figure four it with the ankle on the thigh. Those of you that like to take it deeper and know what that next step is, great. We're going to take right hand directly beside us, so not behind, but just to the side. And then maybe flatten the hand, your choice. Fingertips are flat. Left hand is going out to the left, up to the ceiling, and then over any amount toward the right side of your room. You can bend that bottom elbow any amount that you'd like, but as you bend that elbow, try not to lean into the right hip and the right arm. Try to keep your left hip really, really grounded. Breathing into any places along that left side of your body, your left shoulder, your left hip, that feel like they've shut down a little bit. Maybe they're defending, maybe they're protecting, maybe they're holding. And if that's for an injury, then definitely take care of yourself. But it's just purely the stress of this week. See if you can create some space. We'll ease ourselves back up. And let's take a little bow forward here. Now, if you do this and it feels like too much on that right knee, just stay upright and take the hands to the sides. Last full breath wherever you're at. We'll come on up, releasing that left leg out to straight. And we'll bend the right leg and bring that across. So full cross with the pinky edge of the foot on the ground if that works. If it doesn't, ankle on thigh. On this side, we'll take your left arm out to the side. Fingertips or flat hand, up to you. And then we'll start by adding space. So right arm's gonna go out to the side. You could like jazz finger it up if you want to. Take the hands up to the ceiling and then all the way over. And again, you can bend that bottom elbow any amount, but try not to disconnect from the right hip. Keep it rooted, keep it grounded. Feel the spaces that are resistant, not because of injury or lack of flexibility or tightness, but are resistant just purely because you're holding, protecting, you're bound up. See if some of those areas can find space. Push the ground away, come on up. And then we'll either stay upright with hands on the floor or start to tip a little forward. Just a few breaths here. We'll start to ease ourselves back up and in. And I'd like us to lean back, releasing the legs, and actually return to that comfortable seat that we started in. If you're just really, really ready to lay down on the ground, that's where we're headed next. Lay down on the ground. If you're good here for a little bit longer, stay. If you're staying seated, I would like you to take your hands and kind of cup them. So you've got the two hands, palms up, cupped, and then press the thumb tips gently into each other and just let those rest in your lap. If you're coming down onto the ground, if that's comfortable to do in your hands, great. If not, maybe let hands come back onto heart, maybe one on heart, one on belly. Okay. And then let's drop the eyes or close them completely. And let's return to your breath, that count that you've established. And in your hands, I want you just to place, maybe it's your own heart. Maybe it's somebody that you care deeply about, that you're a little worried for right now, or that needs your support. And as you breathe in, I want you to just feel yourself breathing into this heart or this person or people, all of the things that you wish for them in this moment, the good things, the peace, the space, the protection. And as you breathe out with that really full, long exhale, I want you to release whatever needs to be released out of your heart from this human you're holding. The things that steal our joy and our peace, the heaviness, the anxiety, the worry, the stress, the judgment, the fear. And I want you just to stay with that for a few rounds. Breathing in the good stuff. And breathing out the heavy stuff. Just let it go. Staying with this for one more breath. And nice and easily, we're just going to bring ourselves down to the ground if you're not there already. And as we find the floor, let's bring the knees into the chest and hug your legs in. Any way that it works to support your legs. It might be hands on shins, it might be hands on thighs. Just give yourself a hug. Feel the heaviness of your head and your shoulders and your spine on the ground. We're going to open our arms into a T or a goal post shape, and we're going to take both of our legs over to the right for a supine twist. Now your legs might stay stacked for this. You might separate them into two Vs. There's lots of options and versions of this, so if you know one and love one, feel free to explore and play. The goal here is that we're getting the legs to fall toward the right in a way that they can relax. So if it really feels like you're holding the legs, try to shift them further apart or closer together until you find a spot where you can just breathe into it, releasing into the ground. And let's feel our breath here in the entirety of your torso, all of the supple areas between the bones and the more rigid parts of ourselves. And each and every time you exhale, again, releasing the things that are heavy. And that in this moment might be physical tension. It might be the body's physiological response to anxiety and worry. And just seeing how soft and supported you can be here in this moment. And then really gently and easily, we're going to bring the legs back up to center. Reset in any way that you need to. And we're going to do that same exact thing to the left. Legs go to the left, unless you already went to the left, and then you go to your second side. Final full breath here. And as you inhale, we're going to make our way back to center. And I know at home it's really tempting to not take Shavasana, to get up and head off to the next thing, maybe find your adult beverage. But I really encourage you, especially right now, to get comfortable. Maybe it's grounded and laying down, maybe it's seated, maybe it's in your favorite recliner or chair. But to get comfortable and to be still and silent and with your breath for a few more moments. Allow yourself to take rest. Well, we'll use that as our wake-up call. So I don't know if you heard my dog bark or not, but I'm sorry. Let's start to find our breath again and add some movement back into our bodies. And then nice and easily when you're ready, we'll bring feet to the ground, let your knees bend. We'll sway the knee side to side perhaps. And we'll let ourselves roll to a side. And we'll press on up away from the ground, coming up to a comfortable seat. And as you find that seat, let's bring our hands together at our heart. Just staying again with yourself. Couple more moments here. Maybe palms together, maybe palms on heartbeat. Feeling the steadiness of this moment. The ground that's beneath you, the pulse that's within you. The breath. And carrying this with you as you head off into the days and weeks ahead as a gift to yourself and to everyone you connect with along the way, with 6 feet of space between you. Let's bring your palms together in front of your heart. The light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for practicing together. I apologize if there were not any Shanti sightings. Her nails on this floor make a really bad sound in that microphone, and so I didn't want to do that to you, but I promise we'll get her in some of these in the future. We're going to live stream again on Wednesday night from the same space. If you have any feedback or tips or requests for that class, please feel free to reach out to me. And these classes are just a gift to our community for the next couple weeks. We will be sharing the link to this for people to enjoy that weren't able to join us tonight. And if you feel so inclined to make a donation for these classes, the information about doing that and how to do that is in the description of the video and on our website. But I understand that right now is a rough time financially for a lot of people, and so don't feel pressured at all to donate. A thank you note or just a social share is appreciated. Thank you guys. Please take care of yourselves. I'm sending all of my love. Here's my cat Musketeer. He made an appearance. And I hope to see you again on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. Oh, wait, and wine. Hold on. Cheers. I was prepared. Cheers, everyone.